Thank you so much for watching my video, watching any of my previous videos, and a very special thank you for the people who thumbs up and leave comments, whether it is words of encouragement or criticisms or questions. I really do appreciate all the feedback, and I really love being challenged with the way that I handle my situations, because that's why I do this, so that we can all understand different ways of handling situations and what is the best way of handling each situation. Really, that's why. And in this video, I kind of want to do a little clarification for my previous video regarding customer service versus profit. What is, right, what's wrong, like what it should be. And in that video, and I stand by it, I really do recommend for drivers to focus more on their money versus on like customer happiness. And it doesn't sound really great, right? It doesn't sound happy. And I understand that, but that doesn't mean that customer service is declined and moved out and nobody focuses on it. Focusing on money for me allows my emotions and my attitude to be improved when I'm working. It allows me to really focus on what's important on each of my deliveries, and when I focus on what's important on my delivery, the customers are actually very satisfied and happy, and I get a lot of compliments when I drop off, and things like that. When I focus on money, it allows me to not be so stressed out when I'm handling various issues that might pop up, whether at the restaurant or at the drop off, or even if I hit traffic and or a train is all of a sudden in front of me. Okay. I don't get worked up about these situations. I don't go home reliving various instances that I felt really bad about, or I worried that I didn't handle it correctly. And that's really what this is all about. I think that when I signed up and I was a new driver, I did overvalue customer service, and when you're new, I think that that's normal, and that's why I make videos. I make videos specifically for new drivers or drivers who want to make more money, or they want to see how another driver is doing it. And this is in no way to say other people are doing anything wrong. And I think that if you feel most comfortable doing what you're doing, and you're satisfied with the money that you're making, and you're satisfied with the impact that you're having on lives, then good for you. I'm not here to hate or tell you that you're doing anything wrong just because I do something a little different. And I do see it as a little different, because not exerting as much energy on each little detail on every piece of the delivery allows me to be more human, and allows me to be kinder and nicer to all people when I'm working, as well as it gives me more energy to work longer, and it gives me more energy to move faster, and it also gives me a better level head so that I can make the best decisions in a professional manner instead of an emotional, the customer is always right attitude. So it's just really, I just want to clarify that. I want to explain why I made that video in the first place, and it's because I think that there's a lot of confusion on our responsibilities and what's expected of us as delivery drivers. And I have also seen a lot of new drivers just having the most basic and fundamental questions. And it made me ask myself, does Uber not offer training anymore to new drivers? So I went to the website, and I didn't see the videos there anymore. There was like 3 sentences about you pick up the order from the restaurant, and then you drive to the customer, and then you complete the delivery. So it really wasn't clear to me. So I went to one of my groups and I asked him, I said, hey, or people, when they sign up for Uber Eats, they're not given any sort of training from Uber? And several people replied and they said no. And so I was like, wow, that really clarifies why people are really confused, as well as It makes more sense because a lot of drivers are now working on multiple gig economy apps. So my understanding is, I only do Uber. So my understanding is on the other apps, there's different responsibilities and there's different protocols and things like that. Like they're more, like for example, I don't really know, like I can't tell you which one, but I do know like you sign up for like a set amount of time and then you have to take trips in that time. Like you have to take the trips that come in, and some of them you have to go in and you order it and then you have to wait the entire time and then you have to deliver it, and then supposedly you get paid more than Uber, but it's a different way of working. So I think a lot of people they may have done that app before Uber and then they get confused, it's normal for them, and so they get confused why some Uber drivers are questioning their behavior, and then they get really defensive, like, what's wrong with you? Why aren't you customer? Like, why don't you care about your customers? And that's not essentially where we're coming from. We do care about our customers, but we have different standards, we have different boundaries, and that's not our role, and and so it leads to a lot of confusion. So I do have a couple of tips for drivers who are new, drivers who've never seen training by Uber, who have no idea what I'm talking about. Essentially, those are the drivers that I am talking to right now, or any drivers who have never done this before. So first of all, you should open up your app and you really should play around with it. You should really navigate through all the buttons. Don't be afraid that you're going to push something wrong. Just keep going and you're going to eventually find what I'm going to be telling you about. So the first thing that you should definitely be reading is your terms of service. Your terms of service with Uber will explain our relationship with Uber. I do not know about the other gig economies. I only drive for Uber. So that's really where I focus all my business decisions on. So that's how I come up with my boundaries, my standards of work, and why I say that I don't have a customer service based business. Okay, I don't. Customers are part of it. My sister orders from UberEats a lot, and I told her this, and her face kind of scrunched up, like, it's not customer service. And then she was like, I can see what you mean, because I am a customer of the restaurant, I'm not necessarily your specific customer. And I'm like, exactly, I'm a third party, like I'm just like the middleman. So that's essentially what it is. So read your terms of service and understand where you fit into the whole system as best as possible. If you have any questions, I might explain some of my ideas, but there are other drivers who have some theories about how we fit into the algorithm or how the algorithm works or all of this. The second thing I want you to do is I want you to keep looking around, and actually Uber actually does have some little videos that are tutorials about how to do Uber Eats, how to use the app, how to complete deliveries, and there's even more than when I signed up. And I got worried for a minute before I found this yesterday, and when I found it I was like, wow, this is really awesome. And so one thing that surprised me about the Uber app was that it even discussed delivering alcohol. Now, I'm a person who's a little bit more conserved with like how I work and keeping in rules and regulations. I'm not a person who will like leave my boundaries of responsibility to do other work just because of my past experiences and how I understand how work works. A lot of people do, a lot of other drivers do. A lot of drivers will step outside of those boundaries and are happy to do other people's work because they can know that it's done right. I'm really not that kind of person because it's not, like I said, it's not my responsibility. But you know, it's up to them. If they want to do that, go right ahead or whatnot. But it does not make me feel good. And if it doesn't make me feel good, it makes me feel slighted and it makes me feel disrespected, and that's where I draw the line, and all of that. So I do hope that this has cleared up some things, and I hope that this has helped other drivers. And let me know what you found the most interesting part about that terms of service or the training that Uber has on the app. I would really like to get to know that. I haven't gone through all of it because I really wanted to make sure drivers know that it's available to you. So please share this information with other drivers. Let them know that there's some videos and training on the app, and that they need to start looking at it and exploring. Don't be afraid of the app. And don't be afraid to go online and make money. Don't be afraid to make those decisions that are best for you. And keep a hold of your phone. Don't let people, restaurant employees, take your phone. That's just a little word of advice. So good luck out there, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.